Hi, everybody. Ever since the internet was created, it's been organized around basic principles of openness, fairness, and freedom. There are no gatekeepers deciding which sites you get to access. There are no toll roads on the information superhighway. This set of principles, the idea of net neutrality, has unleashed the power of the internet and given innovators the chance to thrive. Abandoning these principles would threaten to end the internet as we know it. That's why I'm laying out a plan to keep the internet free and open. And that's why I'm urging the Federal Communications Commission to do everything they can to protect net neutrality for everyone. They should make it clear that whether you use a computer, phone, or tablet, internet providers have a legal obligation not to block or limit your access to a website. Cable companies can't decide which online stores you can shop at or which streaming services you can use. And they can't let any company pay for priority over its competitors. To put these protections in place, I'm asking the FCC to reclassify internet service under Title II of a law known as the Telecommunications Act. In plain English, I'm asking them to recognize that for most Americans, the internet has become an essential part of everyday communication and everyday life. The FCC is an independent agency, and ultimately this decision is theirs alone. But the public has already commented nearly 4 million times asking the FCC to make sure that consumers, not the cable company, gets to decide which sites they use. Americans are making their voices heard and standing up for the principles that make the internet a powerful force for change. As long as I'm president, that's what I'll be fighting for too.
Hello, everyone. This is Jonathan Riley from MaximalExposure.net, where we provide online promotions for small businesses. And today's upload, we're going to do a little bit of small business news, which I'm going to start doing here. And this bit of small business news is kind of big business, talking about big business. It's talking about web or net neutrality, which basically means fairness for everybody on the net, whether you're a small business owner, whether you're just a guy with a blog, or whether you're a huge multinational corporation. Net neutrality does not exist right now. And as you just saw, as you just watched, our President Obama, is asking the FCC to provide net neutrality for the little guy, for guys like me, small business owners, and for the kid, like it says on the whitehouse.gov website, the kid with the school kid with a blog. He wants the same neutrality, the same broadband speed, same internet speed, because right now what is happening is service providers, broadband service providers, and internet service providers, they have a choice whether to grant big companies, of course they get paid by these big companies to not only provide faster internet service, but to provide their ads not only faster, but before your site or before your blog or before your website even shows up on the web browser. Now, Obama's plan is for a free and open internet, which means absolutely nothing when it comes to net neutrality. It means that he wants everyone to have the same chance, everyone to have the same speed, everyone to have the same service as a big business does. The same thing he did or is trying to do with Obamacare. He wants the little guy to have the same access to healthcare as the big guy, as the multimillionaire. Now the problem with this is I'm gonna get to the problem with this, and I'm gonna give you my own perspective. Now the problem with this is he's asking the FCC, in his own words, he's asking the FCC to do so, which is a huge red light, red flag right there. He's asking the FCC to do something, which, as you know, when you ask someone to do something, they can just say no. Now, let's say he has a friend at the FCC or somebody that, I don't know if the president appoints people at the FCC or not, but let's just say he has friends at the FCC that will maybe give him more of a chance to get what he wants. The problem is that these broadband services, that these internet service companies that provide these big businesses with this big advantage in ads and broadband speeds, are that they are going to hire a bunch of lobbyists to kill this thing before it even gets off the ground. Now, that's a nice idea. Just like Obamacare, the bum on the street having the same healthcare opportunities as the multimillionaire in the big mansion. And the same thing with this net neutrality idea. The kid with the blog having the same internet speed and opportunity as CNN, as a big media conglomerate, having the same internet speed, the same access to websites, the same, if they had ads, the same opportunity to post them, and just as fast and just as thorough as these big companies. But I can see this coming a mile away. Like I said, these big companies are going to hire a lot of lobbyists and to get this thing stalled before it even gets off the ground. Now, it's a nice idea, and it's an idea which I think will never go anywhere. One, because these big companies have a lot of money. These big companies have big money, and the little guy that Obama is trying to get on an even kill with them do not. So these big companies are going to take that money and not only hire lobbyists, they're going to grease a few palms, grease these service providers that are catering to them even more, to not only get what they want, not only to keep the status quo, but to increase the advantages that they already have. And the advantages that he's talking about here, I don't even care about. Internet speed. And I'm sure you've noticed, if you ever went to a website, an ad pops up before your web page does, before the page that you want even does. You know, I mean, stuff like that is annoying, but it's really not something that I would really fight for. I mean, it sounds good, you know, me, the little guy, having the same broadband speed and the same service as these big companies, but it's something that I can deal with. The status quo right now on that topic is something that I can deal with. And let me get into let me give you some more of my perspective on this. This thing I care about, the things I care about and would fight for and would get my feathers and ruffle my feathers about. The things I care about is internet privacy, how my information is stored, how long my information is stored, where my information goes, who has access to my information. I think the president should be more focused on that, on sections of the Patriot Act that actually allow the government to store certain keywords by using certain keywords and certain tags and titles from your computer, from your IPO address. I think that the president should be focused on that more than me having the same internet speed as a multi-million-dollar business. And for people that have interest in this net neutrality thing, I mean, hey, it's something that you can write about, shoot for, hope for. You know, there's really not much you can do, because he's talking about in as far as a government level, the government mandating, the FCC mandating service providers to provide net neutrality for all people, and that's really not hard to do. If any of you have taken a computer science course, you know it's pretty much it's simple to implement, but it won't go anywhere simply because these big businesses are not going to allow it, and there's not enough uproar from people who are on the bottom of this totem pole. There's not enough uproar from us to get this thing made into reality. So in all fairness to the president, it's a nice piece of legislation to go after. It's excuse the pun, user friendly. It's, this is his last term, so he's really not trying to get at any particular voter. He's just trying to do the right thing, something nice, something wholesome, which the president is known for. But my personal opinion is this doesn't really matter, man. Like I said, I'm satisfied, and if I want faster internet speed, I'll pay for it just like anybody else. And I own a small business. Like I said, I am Jonathan Riley from Maximal Exposure, and this net neutrality thing is just not that important to me. It hasn't gotten that bad to the point to where there's enough of an uproar. And the status quo now is kind of what is expected in a capitalist system. Those that have more money are going to have more opportunities, are going to have more benefits. That's just the way it is. It doesn't have to be that way, but that's just the way it is. And like I said, the way that the net is set up now, the way that broadband is set up now, with the slower internet speed for me and the faster internet speed for the big businesses, it's more annoying than anything. And like I said, maybe, it would be better for the president to focus on internet privacy and how companies like search engines and phone companies, how data is used in order to protect people's privacy and the right of freedom of speech over the net, not just in the Constitution. So this is a nice gesture from the president, but it really doesn't mean anything, and I don't think it'll go anywhere. What do you think about this net neutrality thing? I don't know. Excuse the pun again, but which buttons do you think the president is trying to push by trying to get this legislation passed? And let me know what you think about it. This is Jonathan Riley from MaximalExposure.net, where we provide online promotions, for small businesses. And I'll talk to you guys later.